everybody. I don't know about you, but I love a good fight scene. Emphasis on good. Fight and action scenes are designed to excite the reader. They put you on the edge of your seat. Unless they're shitty, and there's a whole lot of shit to go around. Which is what we're talking about today. Sometimes, okay, a lot of time, I read an action scene and I think, what the fuck was this author thinking? I know these tropes are popular. They're utilized all the time, which is why writers think they can get away with them. You're not getting away with it. I see you. And I'm not happy. Today I am breaking down the 10 worst fight and action scene tropes in fiction. The repeat offenders that leave me staring into space, contemplating the erosion of human intelligence. Which of these tropes do you hate the most? Let me know in the comments below. The last one on this list may shock you, unless you've been watching my channel for a while. The original cyborgs know all about my cold black heart. Let's get into it. Before we get started, a huge thank you to SKILLSHARE for sponsoring today's video. SKILLSHARE is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who wants to learn new skills, broaden their creativity, or just enjoys learning in general. If you've got a specific skill you're trying to learn, SKILLSHARE is the perfect place to start. They've got classes in a range of topics from illustration to marketing, mailing lists to business, and of course, creative writing. One of the great things about SKILLSHARE is that it's curated specifically for learning. That means no ads. There are new premium classes launched each week, so there's always something new to discover. And their entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, German, and Portuguese. I am both a student at SKILLSHARE as well as a teacher. I have a class on SKILLSHARE all about how to self-publish your book from start to finish. It's a step-by-step guide to self-publishing the right way so you can tackle the process easily and effectively. I've also got a couple of classes all about digital marketing for writers so you can grow your author platform and have an awesome book release. Whether you're looking to grow your craft or explore brand new skills, SKILLSHARE's got you covered. Even better, you can try SKILLSHARE right now for free. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial of SKILLSHARE. Do yourself a favor, click the link, take my classes, you'll be glad you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and the Savior's Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, so if you like yourself some award-winning dark fantasy romance, definitely get in on this series. I got them linked in the description below. Now I am breaking down the 10 worst action and fight scene tropes in my humble and completely correct opinion. Number 1. Why didn't you just do that from the start? AKA the Power Ranger trope. You have the ability to morph into a giant robot made of dinosaurs, but you're wasting your time getting your ass beat as a tiny little regular human. Why would you do that? Other than for the sake of extending the scene as long as possible. We all know this trope exists so that the writer can write the almost, which is a moment within the climax where the hero almost fails, only to come back stronger than ever and do the damn thing. I am a huge fan of the almost, but it has to make sense. If the hero had access to an insane weapon and doesn't choose to use it until the end, that's not an almost fail, that's an absolute idiot. If you don't want to turn your hero into a giant robot until the end of the fight, at least make that weapon unavailable to them until that moment. Maybe it requires the power of a magical amulet, and the bad guy has it until that point. I don't know, make something up. It's your shitty book. But they can't have the clincher from the get-go and simply forget to use it. Your readers aren't stupid. Well, some of them are stupid, but still. Number 2, 'tis but a scratch. I'm gonna start off with a few exceptions. If your character is a cyborg, ogre, or some other creature that's somewhat resistant to injury, then it's fine. If your character has power or magic, like super strength or healing, then it's also fine. But in literally all other situations where a human being is fighting another human being, for God's sake, Injuries matter. If you break a bone, you're fucked. If you get stabbed in the leg, you're fucked. You know that lower abdomen wound that we see in every action scene where the hero is clutching their stomach but still carrying on? They're fucked. Do you know how many organs are in your lower abdomen? Something has gotta be skewered. A deep wound or broken bone is going to make use of that body part difficult, if not impossible. And let's not forget the pain. Yes, shock can numb the body, but it can also make you lightheaded and pass out, which isn't exactly helpful in the middle of a fight. Meanwhile, people are writing action scenes where the hero loses a fucking limb and still continues fighting. Unless your character is Superman or Wonder Woman, you're going to have to address these wounds realistically. Number 3, the overpowered MC, aka the male power fantasy. It's really easy to spot an overpowered MC because they breeze through the fight with minimal effort. They're not breaking a sweat, they're the baddest bitch there, and no one can get in their way. Is this realistic? No. But that's not the issue for me. It's fucking boring. The entire appeal of action is the risk of death. With an overpowered MC, you've eliminated any risk, which just turns the fight into a giant flex. Wow, look at the guy go, pummeling his opposition. Woo. It's not exciting. We all know he's gonna win, so what even is the point of the scene? And why would his enemies even bother fighting him if they know he's just gonna rip him in half? It's just not entertaining. I wanna be worried about what's going to happen next. I wanna end the chapter wondering, oh my god, is he gonna make it? Of course he's gonna make it, cause you're a shitty writer with a shitty character. Number 4, the bad guy soliloquy. Look, I get it. You need the bad guy to reveal his plan so that the readers have their questions answered. I completely understand the purpose of this trope, and sometimes it's handled brilliantly, especially when the writer subverts it and makes it self-referential or a joke. But most of the time, the bad guy soliloquy is so bad. There is zero reason for this idiot to be spilling the beans to the hero, and they are clearly wasting precious time they need to enact their plan. Writers, don't make your bad guy an idiot. It makes beating them way too easy. And there are so many ways to avoid this trope. The most obvious one being, have the hero overhear the plan. The bad guy is discussing the details with his constituent, the hero is in the vicinity, and boom, you did it. This makes a whole lot more sense than our big baddie whipping out a PowerPoint breaking down their step-by-step formula for taking over the world. Number 5, no! You all know what I'm talking about. We're in the middle of an action scene. Bullets are flying, people are dying. Suddenly, someone important to the main character dies, and what do? No! The scream that lasts for eons, echoing into the night. You can tell because the writer included approximately 20 O's. Look, I have been in life or death situations, and I can promise you, I have never once screamed no for a long period of time, nor has anyone else around me done that. It's a response popularized by 90s and 80s cinema. It's not realistic, but on the plus side, it's cheesy. I'm not gonna harp too hard on this because it's super easy to fall into this trap. Lord knows I used to write this in my early days. Just avoid this trope. If they gotta scream something, scream the fallen character's name. That actually does happen. Number 6, the strong female character who instantly needs saving. This is especially popular in young adult fiction, particularly if the female in question is a warrior or an assassin. Assassin my assin. We hear how badass she is, and then instantly she's kidnapped or maimed. Now the rugged but cocky love interest gets to swoop in and save her. Writers do this because they want to come off as feminist while still writing a damsel in distress. Look, she's a strong woman. 'Cause I said so. Not because she's actually strong. I may or may not have no concept of strength. Here's the deal. Ain't nothing wrong with a woman who needs help. Everyone needs help at some point. I love a good rescue. It's entertaining and swoon-worthy. But if you claim she's an assassin, let her kill a a few people. Prove her title more than once. She can still get saved by the douchebag, just let her get a few stabs in first. I'm not asking for much here. If the woman ain't shit, stop saying she's the shit. And if she is the shit, show her being the shit. I said what I said. Number 7, 1 against 1,000. I love an underdog story, whether it's an unexpected hero versus a big strong baddie, or a small group versus an army. But you gotta make it make sense, at least a teeny tiny bit. If your character is a magical ninja, then yes, I might be able to buy them beating off 20 guys. But not a massive horde. By themselves. And these disposable henchmen always come in one at a time. Look, based on my research, there is logic to fighting 1 or 2 at a time. But it's not gonna be a literal single file line of hundreds upon hundreds of henchmen waiting for their turn to die. I'm not asking you to make it one-on-one. I'm not even asking you to make it realistic. I'm just asking you to not treat your fight scenes like a fucking assembly line. Remember I Love Lucy with the chocolates? If you're gonna have a ton of soldiers outnumbering your characters, the scene needs to be just as chaotic as that. Number 8, immortality. I'm actually a big fan of immortality, so long as there are limitations. Vampires live forever unless you stab them in the heart or they're out in the sun. I've read books where gods live forever unless their power source is depleted or they're decapitated. And even with characters that literally cannot die, I've seen them handled in situations where they could be imprisoned indefinitely. These limitations need to exist, or else any fight scene involving them is pointless. There is no point in fighting someone who can't die or be captured. Why are you even trying? Not only is it purposeless, but it's boring to read because there's only one inevitable outcome. They live! Shocking! Immortals need to have some type of weakness, or else any action involving them is gonna be lame. Number 9, for the love of God, call for help. This is exclusive for fight and action scenes in contemporary fiction. You've got a character down, they're bleeding profusely, and gosh darn it, I don't think they're gonna make it. So what does the hero do? They hover over them saying, "Don't you quit on me," over and over again, just sitting there, useless, watching as the life drifts from their friend's eyes. What if, and this is just a thought, you call 911. We all have cell phones. I know it's in your pocket right now. Why does no one call for a fucking ambulance? I'm not saying the character needs to live. It takes a while for the paramedics to get there. But make the call, then have your tearful death scene. Contemporary fiction is really good at ignoring the fact that cell phones exist, and when it comes to action and fight scenes, that's when it becomes the most glaringly obvious, and not in a good way. And last but not least, number 10, mercy. Call me a black-hearted bitch, it wouldn't be the first time. But why the fuck are there so many stories where the hero grants the villain mercy? The villain has murdered people. They've subjugated and enslaved millions. They committed genocide. But the hero is gonna let him off with a warning, cause remember, they're the good guy. Good guys don't kill people, right? Bitch, maybe they should. Every single time this happens, the villain takes advantage of the good guy's kindness, forcing the good guy to kill them in self-defense. Bro, you should have done that 5 pages ago. Look, if this is a children's story, I get it. We're not trying to create bloodthirsty toddlers. Actually, that'd be kind of funny, but I digress. Writers, let your heroes be a little gray. Let them kill a baddie or two. I'm here for it. Those bastards don't deserve to be alive anyway. Trust me, your readers will love it. At least the sick and twisted ones will. And we're the best. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Like I said, I have 3 classes available on Skillshare right now, so if you are interested in improving your creativity or learning brand new skills, this is the place to go. You can take my classes along with a whole bunch of other amazing classes. Plus, the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so definitely get on it, click the link, you won't regret it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and the Savior Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, so if you like some dark fantasy romance that's got lots of action scenes that do not have any of these tropes, check it out. It's linked below. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and BookBub, and of course you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye! Bye!
This is Musumi. Per orders, you must subscribe to Jenna's channel and ring that bell. Your sovereign commands it. Any deviation from his word will be penalized harshly, so if you know what's good for you, subscribe.